All right, what's up, guys? It's your boy Frank the Tank from the Podheads Web Show. Hashtag Podheads Web Show every Wednesday on WJHM 102 JMs. I'm over here doing kind of a roundtable situation here with Reflection Show. I'm also here with V.
Hey.
Big Ace.
What's going on, everybody?
And Sin.
Yeah.
Oh, we getting crazy over here. We're smoking, we're chilling, doing what we always do, as we always do. And we're having a little session here. You know, we talk about these sessions apart from the show, but we like to get together, get in cipher, and chop it up. And so that's what we're doing. I just sat through probably one of the trippiest experiences that I can ever say I've
Definitely
ever.
agree.
Right? Yeah.
Definitely agree.
And I've never experimented with psychedelics, so I can't compare anything like that to this. But
I thought you did. That's why I kept asking you.
no, this well, you know what? I've done gel tabs. I've done like maybe mild form of acid.
I've been on shrooms for 2 days.
Yeah, wow.
Don't judge me.
So, so Joseph Andrew. All right. So
What's up?
Reflection Show. Talk to me a little bit about how you got this, how this whole thing got started in the first place. What is Reflection Show, and what does it entail?
Well, the main reason why I got started with Reflections is to enhance how you feel when you're under the use of cannabis. It opens up the creative receptors in the brain, and that's one thing that I like a lot about it. And then the way it enhances the way you feel, your vision, everything about it, the bass, all the things that are incorporated into Reflections is what keeps me pushing on it and fighting for it and going forward. Because it's like an addiction for me. I guess you could say that it's like my crack. You know?
I hear you.
It's very addicting
Sure, I hear you on that.
to be in the lights.
So, so how would you describe Reflection Show to somebody who's listening? Who, I mean, I'm struggling myself to find words to describe. What would you, if you had to put in a label on Reflection Show? What is it?
Well, it's an inspirational journey, but what it's like visually is being inside the guts of like an audio file, or the waveforms, but with light and 3D elements, bass, things that we say throughout the show to just pretty much tantalize all of the senses on a cosmic level.
Yeah, I'm glad you said the senses. I was just thinking as you were saying that it's definitely a multi-sensory experience. I mean, you're feeling, hearing, seeing, incredible. I mean, Big Ace was sitting right there next to me. What were your thoughts, man? Trippy, right?
It was trippy. It was like you said, it's indescribable. It was just, I found myself sitting there the most relaxed that I can remember ever being.
Because your asshole was being
And
massaged.
my
Let's address that. That's a real
So
thing.
set that up.
No.
You're sitting in a massage chair, by the way.
Yeah.
Sexy.
So when we're talking about different senses, also here with Sin, right? We're sitting in these massage chairs, right?
Yep.
And we're being massaged as we're
Balls are
watching
vibrating.
your neck,
Shit is
everything from
Shit
your
is
ankles to your head,
Yeah.
right?
Massaging my taint. I love it.
Yo, for real, right? I was very happy. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, absolutely.
I
was happy
Like,
too.
At one point, I found myself like mouth open, just like and I was like, hold on a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, I wasn't
yeah.
too sure what I was getting myself into, but it was definitely dope.
Yeah, definitely inspired different feelings. There was at one point I could feel my heart beating a little faster as the music went a little bit faster, as the bass was getting a little bit more intense. There was a few moments where I caught myself, looking over my shoulder, like, wait a minute, like, what am I getting myself into? Definitely, it was provoking, thought-provoking, feeling-provoking, a unique experience. And I think that's something that is lacking today, right?
Sure.
That's what everybody's kind of looking for, unique experiences.
Yeah.
And so I guess where I'm trying to think of is different applications. Like, how do you apply this? How do you sell this? How do you get this out there to the masses?
Well, people are always looking to go through a journey with lighting and festivals. So primarily for me, I would love to have a permanent space for it. Like we have one now, but it's not very big. But ideally it would be to have a place that we could have it set up the way we want, not have to move it very often. Or we're open to traveling too, but it's just there's so much symmetry and things that are measured down to 1/16 of an inch, and always be always refining it.
Isn't it crazy how people will have a positive message and automatically people want to jump to judgment and be like, oh, well, you're being preachy. And it's like, no, like that's real life. We need positive messages. Nobody's doing that out there.
Yeah.
People like the drama and the negative. He's doing something to enlighten you, to make you work. You know what I'm saying? He inspired me. We're like this now. I know his whole life.
So how did you get into all of this to begin with? You said you started this when you were younger. What got you onto the Reflection Show? What began?
Well, it originally was just supposed to be just a light show that was just awesome to watch and then tantalize the senses. But then later I developed a message with it because of the frustration and the struggle of getting to where it is now has been a very tough journey. And that's what V's talking about. She knows about what went on there. And it's been hard. And anything that you want to accomplish is going to be really hard. If it were easy, everybody would be successful. But I think that there's definitely room for things to be a lot less tough out there than they need to be right now. It's just, there's a lot of bullshit and red tape and just things that don't need to be there when you're trying to create success with the energies and people.
And shit,
well, they're there for reasons too, but I think that there may be, I don't get into the law part of it, but I know like with people, like how they are as a person, and how they will, try to bring you down or just really like to see you struggle and suffer. It just doesn't make any sense. And then they want to complain that there's no jobs and all that, but then you're getting in the way of a job creator, so you have no fucking right to complain about that shit. And we talk about that a lot in the show too sometimes. We talk about a lot of different things.
You talk about support and individuals around you. How has your support system been in creating something like this? You said this 8 years, in the making here.
Well, I've had to distance myself from a lot of people, even a certain family, just to be able to not have that negative energy weighing me down. Because when you're a creative, you can't surround yourself with that. And it just doesn't make any sense for people to act that way anyways. I think there's a lot of reflecting that they got to do. But people want you to be at their level. That's the thing. They don't want to...
people don't want to see you win, man.
That's
what it is.
But if you're close to someone, it's all about winning together, Like, we're going to have a lot of jobs for people, and a lot of people that I know lost out on that, Okay, stay where you are, come fucking with me and help me grow this, and be in the lights. It's the best. Lighting is like the best job you could ever want, being in lights. It's amazing. You're in a whole different atmosphere whenever you want.
It's like Zuckerberg. He had an idea. There was people that were with him. There was people that weren't. And then at the end, look at where they're at now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's a visionary.
People try to get in the way hard when you're trying to do something big, too. I mean, real fucking hard. And it's like, if they focus that energy on themselves trying to be better and be successful, they would be fine. To me, it's just baffling. It just boggles the mind to think and try to comprehend the different outcomes that people put me through and how they were able to strategize that. Just so much energy put into it is just toxic. When your body is in a negative state, you're toxic. Your health, everything is bad. It's bad for people to be that way, but it's part of our culture right now to be narcissistic, to be overly consumed and have an ego and things like that. We're not free as we should be if we were to just... I like material possessions, I do, but I'm not willing to step on other people to fucking get them like other people are with me, So I think that's the difference between someone trying to get involved with Reflections and just having someone at the helm that understands a lot and has been there and been through things to know how to run it too. I'm always learning. I don't know everything, but when I started Reflections 8 years ago, if someone would have thrown some money on my lap, probably might have failed because I didn't have experience when it comes to dealing with people, being able to sniff out bullshit, all that stuff, and what to look out for. These are all things that make a better person at the helm and I don't want to just be the main person. I want more people to be involved in.
That show was intense.
Yeah, that's deep, man. That's pretty awesome. Where do you see this going? Like basically from from the most basic point on the ground where you're at right now, because you said you're still in beta. Where do you see this going? If you say you're shooting for the moon, is there an end game? What do you call success for a reflection show?
I'd say being able to fit like 500 people. You know, I don't mind growing, but you have to be careful when you grow too much and then you lose quality control. I think that I wanted to remain very intimate. But I wouldn't mind if it was 500 to 1,000 people. And then for me, it's never been about the money. If it was, we would already be trying, to do stuff out there with this stuff. People be like, bring it over here, bring it over there, but I know it's not ready yet. It's more ready than it's ever been. But there's certain things that we still need to manage and do. But I think that not it being straight from the heart and not about greed is another reason why it has so much potential and why it's so unique. Because most productions are thrown together. Oh, it's easy to impress, the public. Let's just do that, and someone over here with a light on them, and these guys came here and did these videos. I put my heart in it, even though I was quick with it, but they loved it. So, but you have to. And I was up till 6 hours preparing for that music video shoot before they even got here. And I wasn't sure what they wanted.
4 videos at that.
Yeah.
So
5 hours.
What do you call being ready? What do you consider being ready?
Well, a lot more rigging, LED walls, and a nice auditorium where people can come and experience the show, and then chairs that are removable down in the center, so we can have nights where we just enjoy the lights and dance. It's so amazing to be in the lights, man. I mean, when you're out there having a good time with them and listening to some of your favorite music, electronic music or psychedelic chill or relaxing, deep house, and just enjoying the visuals and the journey and the lights and the energy, the sounds. It's definitely why we keep going, because in anything else, because they say lighting that's why people love light shows. That's why they're so big.
They're like fireworks because they distract you. But you know where I see it? You know how Coachella started, right? The venue that Coachella's in now, they weren't getting any traffic. It was an old race track or whatever. And it's in the middle of nowhere in the desert. Nobody wants to go there. So they created the music festival of the year, basically. So I see it in a venue like that, in a small town like Port St. Lucie, in a venue that can hold a couple thousand.
Sure.
That you can have that kind of environment and bring in different shows. But I definitely see it like the next Coachella meets Joseph Andrew on acid.
I want to do a lot with classical.
Did you do acid?
No, just
I fucking would do that. That'd be lit.
I tried shrooms accidentally once, but I love those.
Sorry, I didn't mean to leave those.
No, that's okay. But I don't mind being in a place that would like something new. I mean, Orlando has a lot going on, so there's a lot of options here, and people are very spoiled and very picky, and but we've always had great feedback, and it gets around to everybody's friends, and then their friends talk about it, and then they bring a whole group, and it's been pretty amazing to see the feedback. And actually, people that have come, they go forth on their plan, or they get through something that they were struggling with just by coming in here. And then that's when it dawned on us by so many people saying, I've been so inspired, I feel so good, and it's just I see these people online that are accomplishing their dreams and doing what they want to do. And then that was when we should do the Cannabis Church thing, just because people are so inspired when they're here.
Wow. So who would you say this is tailored for? If you're trying to speak to a certain audience?
No, it's for anyone that, is looking for filling a void or finding their direction or seeking hope, because when you come here and you experience, some of the different messages that we do different times and different nights, people are very inspired and they find what they need to do right and where they were doing wrong, or they eliminate certain people that are just giving them drama. And life is already a bitch. No reason to make it any harder. So it's really tough, and it's really tough with all the bullshit that we have to deal with that we can't control, that's going on out there right now already. So you have all this energy that's just everything that's going on. It's so much that you have to have people in your circle that are healthy, and they have to. If you sense that they're a hater or they don't, and it takes time to see it. It took me years to see it in certain people. You know what I mean? And once you see it, though, then you can eliminate that, and then you actually grow and you feel better. You're not toxic.
You hear about these experiences that you see them. Sometimes you see them on Groupon, sometimes you hear about them. You got your acupuncture, you've got your sensory deprivation, you've got your sense. They've got rooms that kind of get your smell, the smells and the taste and everything. So I kind of see how this can be something almost considered therapeutic in the way you describe it for some people.
Oh yeah,
you're just trying to cleanse and get away from negative energy, black out all the sensory overload, all the other stuff with music.
A lot of people love the therapy part. They say it's therapeutic for them. And we used to do smells in the show too.
Oh wow!
That's another
Popcorn?
element. No, we used to put stuff in the machines and different scents like strawberries
Could you imagine
and
it's like
watermelons.
Thanksgiving dinner smell?
Weird
That
like
shit would
that.
be lit. Lit Thanksgiving, full like cranberries and everything. No, you'd be hyped.
But I think there's definitely
chewing your hand off and shit.
room for it to grow more. It's just continuing to push forward. And so I know you asked me about earlier about the support system, so I've been thankful to be able to work out of it, and create and paint in this room thanks to my friend Dario over here. I don't know if I to say his full name because kind of things that we're talking about, but really supportive in that we trade services for the space, but without having a space to paint the room with is hard. So that's another barrier to a lot of people that I've seen come through here, and I guess some of them say they were jealous when they left or whatever. Fortunately, but they're in production and they tried to create shows in the past. It wasn't successful because it takes a lot to do this. Like, it's so expensive, just the space alone, and then having air conditioning. A lot of people would try to create something without air conditioning, and that's just hard to do that in Florida. And then, or the space just ate up all their budget, or just even the lights were just so expensive, and then using them or paying someone to do them. Like someone with my skill sets can probably make anywhere from $500 to $1,500 a day. If you have someone that you have to rely on to do all that programming for you, and you just fronted the bill on it, then you're going to want them to be set on a schedule of when they want it, when you want something done creatively out of whatever you're trying to create. There'll be times I'll spend 2 hours and not like what I just created and scratch that. And someone that has me on a budget is not going to fucking let me create like that. And so a lot of this happens with, there's a lot of things I create accidentally. Maybe just weird combinations and putting numbers differently here or there. Different things that just boom, and then a whole different effect just came out. Bam! I'm like, "Ooh, I like it. Save it." But I just sit here and I get a little high and I just off the marijuana, and then I just start selecting fixtures and just creating all kinds of weird looks, and it's fun, but it takes a lot out of you.
So the show that we saw today, how long you say that took you to program?
I don't really know offhand how many hours, but over the years, definitely between research and development and different betas that we've done, I've spent thousands of hours on it probably, and just a lot of time over the last 8 years. And we've, as we've grown, we've transferred the programming over to the newer software and things like that. So we started, obviously on the operator boards, which you couldn't transfer into that, but then the Grand MA 1, and then after mastering that, the Grand MA 2, we switched everything over.
Wow.
And then, had to readjust, and then when we get new gear, you have to train all of them to do stuff. So,
so you've had the ideas and the concepts before the technology was
in my possession. Yeah, wow. Before I could afford it. Yeah, I have so much I want to do. Besides what you've seen tonight, actually, a lot of people love the show, but I always say what is going on in here will look like crap compared to what I really want to accomplish, and it's still nice. But a bigger space, spreading them out more. I mean, we're real tight.
Collaborating with different artists and stuff, like
performers,
the videos
musicians.
he did this weekend were sick. Like the artists that were in here, like it literally was better than a Broadway show.
Yeah, it was great. It was fun watching it.
Energy was
it was
sick.
Amazing. I had the best view. I don't know if I went back there.
Was so fucking
you
on
did
point.
Put it together. Bees doesn't play. She doesn't play no games.
Fucking killed
She's
that
on
shit.
top of it.
And we had pizza. And we had bud. What?
Yeah.
Squad goals.
It was fun. It was definitely fun. It was an epic day.
Yeah, epic
for sure.
day. Mad shit. Like to knock out. You know how hard it is. For those people that aren't in the industry, it's hard to take a selfie. A selfie could take you 10 fucking minutes, right? Picture filming and programming and doing multiple fucking things, the costume changes for 4 different videos in 5 hours.
Wow.
Driving 3 hours, coordinating 13 plus people, everything, him going live with it. It was sick.
tough.
It was sick.
great.
And I've never seen anything like that quick and that
people would have
efficient.
paid to watch that.
Yeah. We should have fucking recorded it. That would have been a sick ass reality show. We were turned the fuck up. We really were. It was good times.
Like if you had an audience,
was epic.
Just just like if you had an audience, I bet people would come in as an audience just to see a film being made on stage. That's how much fun.
Fuck
just
yeah,
to see the
dope.
effects over and over and over again, and just
He
go through the lighting
had
all over again.
Like remember, you had people come. Like when we were getting ready to leave because we ran over a little late on time, and we did good on time, like solid, only 30 minutes over. And these people were like here, like as investors with a magazine, like looking to see the show. Yeah. He put on, what was it, like 15 minutes worth, a 20-minute show, like out of nowhere. Yeah, the sickest shit ever. When I tell you, he made it rain, sleet, snow, hail, Jesus, you were resurrected in 15, 20 minutes. The shit was crazy. Like, me and the girl were crying. It was so deep. So, how the fuck? Yeah, it was dope. Everything.
Life Control is awesome because it's endless. You could just go through. We have over 1,000 cues in the console. So there's over 1,000 different things we could pull up.
But the show they saw is nothing like the show that went down this weekend. This was more a subdued version, like here, see what I got, everything I got. But the one he did, because his energy was so high, because we were lit as fuck, he went heavy, like all stops, like. Yeah,
it was a lot. We were up till 6 in the
let
morning.
Loose, and you had to see him back there on the board. He was just a savage. We were back there the one time, and you just went fucking ham.
A lot of levers.
In the video, you don't realize.
Crazy, and I remember watching videos that you were showing me, and I was.
And that's from my shitty food.
Twice as big. So that's pretty crazy how you can use what you got to
angles and camera work.
What's the best way to experience the reflection show? Are we talking about
high as fuck?
Yeah, smoking blunts, do some shrooms.
Well, we can't condone.
How about if we dab?
We can't condone the use of anything, but an altered state is
just me refreshing. Whether it
be alcohol or whatever you do, I suppose. You just don't. I don't recommend anything that's not natural.
So glue is not okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything like that.
I'm done.
People have come. People come as they are, and But when you sign your waiver, you're saying that you haven't consumed anything and you don't have epilepsy, and you waive your right to sue.
I thought I was
for a private space, and we're always going to remain a private space so that we don't have to worry about so much red tape with laws, because the reflection is an intense journey. I mean, people haven't sometimes been able to move after it, and we get worried. So you have to really be careful when you come in and what you do. And I don't know, it's a really beautiful journey, though. Just never over consume anything if we don't condone it.
Sure. It's pretty awesome from what we saw. And one last one before we get out of here, because we're holding you up. I know.
No worries. Take your time.
You said you're trying to take on partners. You're trying to grow right now. How do people find you? How do people experience Reflection Show? What's the best way to get in contact with you? How do people try to do that?
Well, Optitude360.com is our website, or you can go to the Facebook Reflections Shows, in the URL, or just you'll find the dingy background and the reflections on it. And you can my number's there, and then you get the website. And
you're all over our page, baby.
Yeah, you can find us there too.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another good session here with the Podheads and the guys from Reflection Show. Make sure you go online and check out them on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And look for the Podheads as well. Hope you enjoyed this session. Look out soon for any new sessions soon to be coming. We're going to be talking to all sorts of interesting people. So make sure you check us out, the Podheads Web Show. Peace.